What's up guys, it's your girl M and I'm back with another video for you today, and you guessed it, we're doing spooky. We're doing a spooky video. We're in my spooky scene. It's really not all that spooky, but give me a little bit of credit here, okay? I'm working with what I got. I had somebody ask me about the scariest movies I've watched and just like for me to rank horror films and stuff, but that got me to thinking, because y'all know in my jump scare video, I made a comment about demons and how they scare me the most because they're so unpredictable and they like toy with you. Like you're literally like imagine Poseidon with like a ball in his hand and he's just like batting at it. Like demons play with you like you're a toy. Like they love to get a rise out of you and it freaks me out. And with that being said, I'm going to talk about the scariest movie I've ever seen. And it's actually a documentary. Now, I know a lot of people don't believe in the paranormal, they don't believe in demons, they don't believe in that kind of stuff. I get it. And a lot of people probably watched this documentary and were like, this seems fake. This doesn't add up. But to me, scary, terrifying. Just as terrifying as this pimple on my face. I have never had a pimple like this. I'm still going on about this pimple because I'm pissed about it. But anyways, back to Demon House. This is my demon right here, this pimple. So the documentary, I haven't even said the name of the documentary. The documentary is called Demon House, and the guy who directed it, produced it, is a part of it, bought the house, is Zach Bagans, and he's the guy that with the hair that does the Ghost Adventures show on it was the Travel Channel. I don't know where it's. I'm sure it's on Discovery currently. But Zach Bagans is the guy in this, and he has his crew with him. And you want to know an interesting, funny thing about Zach Bagans? A friend of mine went to one of the haunted locations that Zach Bagans filmed for the Ghost Adventures show. And one of the workers that like worked at the haunted place or whatever, I think it was the sanatorium in Kentucky, but I'm not 100% sure. But anyways, the tour guide that did the tour for my friend, she said that Zach Bagans, when he was there, she has never seen a man wear so much makeup. Like he was caked up. So just letting you know, Zach Bagans wears makeup. I have it on good authority. This is set in Gary, Indiana. And guess who's from Indiana? Me. Ding, 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 ding. I've never been to Gary. I've like driven around Gary, but I've never been there. So I don't really know the vibe there. I'm from Fort Wayne, which is about 3 hours east. But yeah, so Demon House in Indiana. I'm from Indiana. Let's get into this trailer for Demon House. Official trailer number 1, 2018 Zach Bagans documentary.
I've been here long enough. I came to kill, I'm going to kill him.
I'm Zach Bagans. I'm one of the world's leading researchers on ghosts and demonology.
He lives in Vegas. He has
And
a
this
haunted
film
museum too.
is cursed.
I'm driven by that sign.
A
You at your
story
own
about
risk.
a
I'm telling
demon
you,
possession
you
makes
at your own
international news.
Now look at one of the most documented cases of demon possession and exorcism in recent history.
The next day, over the phone, I buy the house, sight unseen.
In my 37 years of police investigation, I've never run into anything like that before.
I just got the keys to the demon house. You think it's dangerous for me to be in that house?
I wouldn't be there.
She had holes in both her wrists, just like little cuts.
They called 911.
They called 911.
They did.
There was an unidentifiable voice. I only heard it on the recording.
Who in there?
Something came back. I don't know if it was that demon, but something came.
I put the crucifix on her head. She began convulsing.
There was a 6 engraved in our back.
Are you sure you ain't certain?
I'm waiting on the police to come.
What just happened?
He attacked Jay.
If people are making this up, I'm gonna catch them.
Why is it spiking though?
We were just around my house and we see 3 police cars.
This is what it all comes down to.
There was a face. It doesn't want me, it wants you.
My goodness! Ah, that is terrifying. And let me tell you, the actual movie is even more terrifying than, or documentary is even more terrifying than the trailer. Like, it's pretty scary. We're going to check out this Inside Edition clip about the house, and it says, "Is this Indiana house the portal to hell?" That's why it's view at your own risk.
It's your first look inside
That's
a
why
house
it's view at
known
your own
as
risk.
the portal to hell, a place where demons supposedly wrought havoc with a helpless family in horror straight out of The Exorcist.
Oh, terrifying.
This man just bought the notorious house in Gary,
Zach
Indiana,
Bagans.
for the bargain basement price of $35,000.
What compelled you to buy this house?
I have a passion for investigating claims of paranormal.
Zach Bagans is the host of the Travel Channel's Ghost Adventures.
And he wears
We
a
spoke
lot of
inside their
makeup.
front porch, the precise
We've already
spot
discussed
where
that.
a terrorized mom claims that horseflies mysteriously swarmed in the dead of winter, as they did in the Amityville Horror. Then there
Terrifying.
was that mysterious figure that appeared in the window when the house was supposed to be empty.
Can you
This is
imagine?
the other side of that window.
There are reports
I wonder if he's wearing
that
makeup
there was
in this.
a
I'm
residue
sure he is.
that would come down the blinds.
It was horrible.
This is the woman who lived in the House of Horrors with her 3 children before Zach Bagans bought it. LaToya Ammons fought back tears when she told us how they fled in terror after her daughter was raised right off her bed. She says the demons sounded
Kidding
like
me?
this.
We've waited 5 months. It sounded like something dead.
She says she anointed the rooms with holy oil and read aloud from the Bible, but the nightmare went on and listened to a sound that cannot be explained by police who looked into the mysterious goings-on. While 2 cops are talking in the basement, someone can be heard saying, "Hey." And brace yourself for what LaToya says happened to her son when she and her mom took him to the hospital. It's right out of the movie Poltergeist.
He walked up the wall and the back was flipped.
How did everybody in the hospital react to your son walking up the wall?
They took off and they ran. The doctor from the psych ward said that's not real. That's not human. No human can do that.
That's
Speaking of
crazy.
deep,
That happened at the
mysterious
hospital.
You in there?
Whoa!
Those are the chilling words Captain Charles Austin will never forget. The 36-year veteran of the Gary, Indiana Police Department had just finished investigating strange occurrences in the house and was in his patrol car talking on the phone when he says something bizarre happened.
All of a sudden, while I'm involved in this conversation, the AM/FM radio went to static and turned up very loud. And it said, "You in there?"
Whoa!
And the person on the phone say, "What the hell was that?" And I say, "I don't know."
What was your reaction?
I was in shock.
I love him. He's like he's an Indiana guy.
A local priest who
that's
got
an Indiana
permission
guy
from the
for
Bishop
you.
of Gary, Indiana, to perform an exorcism on
Oh my
LaToya.
goodness.
Did you at one point believe this house was the portal to hell?
There was a portal.
LaToya moved out of the
Whoa.
house and now lives many miles away. She knows her story is hard to believe.
Some people claim that you made this all up, that this was some sort of an elaborate hoax. Is this a hoax?
No, I don't feel that someone will have a reason to make something up like that.
Do you believe that house is possessed by demons?
I do. I feel that it's something very bad going on in that house.
Clearly. And based on what I saw in the documentary, yes, something is off in that house. Now I'm going to read from the Wikipedia page, and then I'll get into my experience watching the documentary Demon House. I'm telling you, it's nuts. It's nuts. So make sure you wait till the end. Background is, in November 2011, LaToya Ammons, her mother Rosa Campbell, and her 3 children, then ages 7, 9, and 12, moved into a house located at 3860 Carolina Street in Gary, Indiana. Days after the family moved in, they claimed black flies swarmed on the porch in December and kept returning even after the family believed they were killed. Campbell initially heard footsteps in the basement and doors creaking. Later, she alleged to have witnessed a shadowy figure of a man pacing in the living room and found a boot print. Campbell claimed she was choked by an unknown force. Ammon's 12-year-old daughter was caused to have levitated above her bed unconscious during a sleepover with a friend. They were said to have prayed until the girl returned to the bed. The daughter had no memory of the incident. The older son was allegedly thrown across the room by an unknown force. The younger son allegedly had his eyes roll into the back of his head and was growling, saying, "It's time to die, and I will kill you." Jeez Louise! The family reached out to their physician, Jeffrey Onyeku. I did not pronounce that correctly. Excuse me for not knowing quite how to pronounce this. It doesn't have like a thing breaking it down. But on April 19th, 2012, when he visited the house during the supposed haunting, he noted that their behavior was delusional. Someone from his office contacted police. After the police arrived, the children were taken to the hospital. The older boy was described as acting rationally, while the younger boy screamed and thrashed. In 2012, the Department of Child Services was alerted to the family. The DCS believed that the children were performing for their mother. Sensational stories published in outlets such as the New York Daily News reported that DCS personnel had allegedly witnessed the youngest boy walking up the wall backwards. Okay. 37-year-old police captain Charles Austin believed paranormal activity occurred in the house. A photo published by the Indianapolis Star claimed to show a shadowy figure when no one was home. The family hired Father Michael Magano, who was in that clip, to perform an exorcism. He interviewed the family on April 22nd in 2012 and concluded they were being tormented by demons. I'm telling you, demons, they just like to mess with you. They just like to play with you. They got nothing better to do. So they're just messing with you. He eventually performed 3 exorcisms, 2 in English and 1 in Latin. One exorcism was performed on LaToya Ammons. The Ammons family moved away to Indianapolis in 2012, after which the events were said to have stopped. My gosh. Okay, this goes in, I'll put the link in the description down below, but you can just go to the Wikipedia. It seems like I'm a believer in things like that. Like, I know not everybody believes in the paranormal and demons and things like that, but I've never had an actual experience with anything. Knock on wood, God willing, God protect me. I don't want to ever have that experience, but I do believe that there are a lot of things that happen that can't be explained away. And I get it, there's skeptics about everything out there. So I totally understand if you guys are skeptical, but it freaks me out. Like, it really freaks me out. It has a disclaimer about watching things that are haunted and consuming that media can cause things to happen. There's like a disclaimer. I don't know verbatim what is said on the disclaimer. I'm sure I could look it up, but it was enough to freak me out and like second guess that I was watching this movie. But it freaked me out. The whole thing. It's a well done documentary. It was very interesting. It was scary. It was horrifying to see what went on in that house while they were there. And I would not want to live in a house like that. I would live on the street before I lived in a house like that. Okay, you know. But what was interesting after watching the documentary, this is a while ago. This is back when I lived in the townhome, not my previous townhome, but the first townhome in Fort Wayne. And we had friends over and they ended up spending the night and we all slept in the living room. And while we were about to like get ready to go to sleep, all of a sudden, because our kitchen, like there was like an opening so you could see into the kitchen, we heard one of the spoons that were in the sink clink into the drain. I swear, I'm not making it up. It slid, like you can't explain it. Like nobody was messing around in the kitchen. The sink, the spoon was just sitting in the sink and it clanked and went into the drain. You can't explain it away. So what I did was I have a tiny crucifix that at every place I've ever lived in, I hang the crucifix up right next to the door on the right side. I always have that crucifix up because it just makes me feel safe and comfortable. And like, I'm not the most religious person in the world, but I like it to be known that, you know, God is in this home, and I like to feel like I'm protected, I guess you could say. And so I took the crucifix off the wall and I literally put it on the couch to like have it. It's this really tiny crucifix too. It's not like anything crazy. I literally put it right next to me. It was like sleeping next to it. And then I had Abel in my arms and I was just like not letting go. But it really freaked me out. And then we felt like we kept hearing sounds and it was just a long night. And I highly recommend watching it if you're into that kind of stuff. But if you're not, go ahead and skip it because it was scary. It haunted me for a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. Like I had a little bit of anxiety for a few days until it finally like got out of my head. So that is the scariest movie / documentary I've ever watched. Demon House. It was put out in 2018. Zach Bagans is a part of it, the guy from Ghost Adventures. He wears makeup. I'm gonna keep saying it because it's very interesting to me. It's very funny. But yeah, and there's nothing wrong with guys wearing makeup. I want to say that. I do not care, but I just think it's funny that the tour guide like made note of that. He was wearing like a lot of bronzer, so it was just funny. Okay, but that's it for this spooky video. If you have any other like kind of spooky content that you want me to do or talk about, comment it down below. Check out my Instagram at Midwest Mansfield and my Twitter at MMMan. I love you guys so much. Happy spooky season, and I will see you in the next video. Mwah, mwah, mwah.